What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I'm bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. And today I'm continuing my companion guide series with MacCready, who is the mercenary slash gun for hire type companion in the game. This is probably one of the most highly requested companion guides that I've seen, so I thought it'd be nice to go ahead and cover him. First, let's discuss a little background info on MacCready. One of the most interesting things about this character is that we've actually already seen him in a Fallout game. He was the tough-talking 12-year-old mayor of Little Lamplight, which was a small settlement run entirely by children in Fallout 3. I remember that character really well, and when someone told me that MacCready was the mayor, it really surprised me and I was instantly interested in his character. In the events of Fallout 4, he is now 22 years old, so it's 10 years later. Between Fallout 3 and 4, MacCready married a woman named Lucy. This is his background info, and he had a kid named Duncan. And since I'm not really here to spoil the story for you, something happened to his family. There was a situation, and that is what brought him to Commonwealth, or the Commonwealth, excuse me. At some point, he did some mercenary work for the Gunners, which is the big mercenary group in the game, and when you first meet him, he's being threatened by some Gunners for operating in their territory, so that kind of gives us some insight on his character. MacCready is located at the third rail bar in the very back, which is in Good Neighbor. So I'm just showing you on the screen right here. Good Neighbor is one of the two major places, you know, with Diamond City and then Good Neighbor. Obviously, a lot of you should know where Good Neighbor is, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys on the map. And once you go in here, you're going to go all the way down and then to the back kind of area to the right. And of course, you'll come here through the main story. So you pretty much should know where this is. And this is where you will find these Gunners walking in as you come in here for the first time, and then MacCready will be sitting here. If you've come here before, then maybe this has already happened and MacCready will just be here, but you should find MacCready in this situation talking to these Gunners. And really all you have to do is kind of wait it out, listen to their conversation, and then MacCready will offer to talk to you. In order to get him as your companion, you pretty much just need to pay him caps, and depending on your charisma, you could get the cost down, but it ranges anywhere from 250 if you're not able to persuade him at all the way down to, I believe it's 100 or maybe even 50. It's probably just 100 because 50 sounds too cheap, but you can persuade him to lower his price if you do have a high charisma character. Fortunately, this is all you need to do if you want MacCready. You just need to have the caps, and once you have the caps, he is your companion. MacCready's special stats are 5, 10, 9, 7, 7, 10 agility, and then 8 luck, and that is a total of 56 points. He's got a 150 carry weight, which is standard for most human companions that aren't synths, and also he's got no immunities because again, he is a human. There's nothing funny going on there. So in terms of his special stats, really nothing remarkable. A lot of just the basic human companions pretty much hover around 55 to 60 on their special stats, and MacCready is no different. And I have said many times before that I don't think these special stats truly affect a lot with our companions. I don't think that, you know, there's anything remarkable really to point out about his special stats, but they're just interesting to know. Fallout 4 has an affinity system, of course, and this is pretty much the game's loyalty system for your followers and companions. You'll do certain things out in the world, complete certain actions, choices, and dialogue, and MacCready, unlike any other companion, will react. So he will kind of give you what he thinks about what you just did in the world. So he'll say he liked it, disliked it, hated it, or loved it, and you'll be able to monitor his, reactions to what you're doing in the top left of the screen. So imagine there's an invisible bar in the game. You can't actually check it unless you're on PC with console commands, out of 1,000, and essentially you have to fill that bar starting at 0 all the way up to 1,000 in order to maximize your companion affinity with your specific companion, with MacCready. So once you have maxed that out, you get MacCready's companion perk, which is very good. We're going to talk about it later in the video. And also it opens a romance option. You can romance MacCready. He is an equal opportunity lover, so he likes you if you are a guy or a girl. He really does not care. With regards to affinity, MacCready has a specific set of general affinity choices and dispositions he will have, reacting to certain situations within the game that the player gets themselves in or takes or says. And so MacCready generally likes it when the player is violent. That's his only strict like. So he will like those situations where, you can choose to be violent. However, he dislikes it when the player is nice, mean, or peaceful. So I would say, generally looking at this mix of likes and dislikes, that MacCready is generally not the most morally good character. As in, if you're trying to play a nice guy and you're going to do all these things, go out of your way to be nice, to be peaceful, he's not going to like that, and as a result, you'll see that, MacCready disliked that or hated that. or certain things like that. And so that's his general affinity. He does have more specific preferences to player actions, and that's his specific affinity. So he likes it when the player picks owned locks. Now, keep in mind, this is owned locks as in kind of friendly player locks. So say you're in Diamond City and you pick a lock to one of the vendors, places in the middle of the night, he'll like that. However, if you're out in the world and it's just like a raider area and you pick a lock to get in there, or you pick a lock in order to find some goodies and it's just abandoned, that will have no effect on MacCready. It's only if it's locked, pretty much only if you're breaking in. He also likes it when the player persuades for more caps. So kind of, a charismatic character, he likes it when a charismatic character does that. And he also likes it when you steal. He is the only companion that likes it when you steal, and we're going to take advantage of that when we talk about boosting his affinity in just a second here. Additionally, he does not like when the player gets addicted to chems. So, using chems and getting addicted, he's not going to like that. He doesn't like it when the player donates items. Again, he doesn't like it when the player is generous, nice, or peaceful, so that kind of makes sense, from a general specific affinity standpoint. And also, he doesn't like it when you murder non-hostiles. So, he likes it when you're violent, but just don't murder innocent people, basically. Just be violent when it makes sense, when you're not trying to kill innocent people. He definitely likes that. Since the release of the game, a lot of people have been pointing out that MacCready is a little finicky. It's hard to get up his affinity just by following these, predictive behaviors. And unfortunately, we have all of these predictive behaviors, but still it's a little tough. You kind of have to play a pretty specific character in order to please MacCready. You got to steal stuff, you got to be violent, you can't be too mean or nice, or else he won't like you that much. And it'll be hard to boost up his affinity all the way up to that magical 1,000 invisible bar mark. However, we can boost his affinity, and it's very easy. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Essentially, you can do this right where you pick up MacCready in Good Neighbor in the third rail bar. Right after you pick him up, MacCready likes it again when you steal stuff. And so essentially in that back room, it's just you and MacCready. So you can just go into stealth mode and start stealing items, and he will like it. However, there's a very easy way to boost it quickly. And this is pretty much the same method as the dog meat method, but we're doing the same quick save. So essentially what you're going to do is steal an item, quick save right after you steal that item, and then immediately load that quick save that you just made. And then you just got to wait through the really short loading screen and then repeat the same process. So the same item shouldn't keep spawning. Like once you steal that item will go away. You'll just have to go around and steal as many items as there are in that area. And you will see again in the top left that MacCready liked that, and that should happen every single time you repeat this process. And once you run out of things to steal in this back room, you can actually go in the front rooms and then pick up items and literally just walk them over to the back room and successfully steal them because no one's looking. And I think that's just kind of an oversight. I don't know why Bethesda allows us to do that, but you can literally just go pick up an item, bring it back into the back room, steal it, and then you're good. Once you've boosted MacCready's affinity all the way to 1,000, either by doing it my way or just, paying close attention to his predispositions and his affinity choices, you will get Kill Shot, which is his companion affinity perk, and it gives you plus 20% headshot accuracy in VATS. I'm sure this isn't news to a lot of you, but this actually was glitched from launch until about a week ago when it was patched in all versions of the game. It gave us 95% headshot accuracy no matter what from any range, and that was just ridiculously overpowered. Bethesda has patched it now, and so basically you can take whatever headshot accuracy you were going to get before, add 20%, and that's what you're going to be seeing if you have this companion perk. And I gotta tell you guys, this is a top tier companion perk. Even, the fact that it's been patched and it's not overpowered anymore, it's still way up there with Paladin Dance's perk and Preston's perk. Those are pretty much the top three in my mind in the entire game for an offensive base focus. If you're focused on killing enemies quickly, being as powerful as you can be, these are the top three perks. And I would probably put this either as number 2 or 3 after Dance, maybe even tied with Preston's. I mean, it's just that good. You get that extra, headshot accuracy, any accuracy on any limb. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to be hitting arms, but just that extra accuracy is so good on any limb, and the fact that it's the head makes it even better. And so that's why it's way up there in terms of combat on my ranking for companion perks. So again, you'll need to have maximum affinity in order to get Kill Shot. And additionally, MacCready does have a side quest. Not a lot of companions have side quests, but MacCready does. And it's called The Long Road Ahead. Essentially, it's about solving some of the issues that I wasn't, willing to spoil for you guys. Pretty much talk to MacCready, roll around with him, boost up his affinity, and he'll talk to you more, give you some of his background. And The Long Road Ahead, essentially you need low to medium affinity to begin the first part. And what that means is you'll need between 250 and 500 affinity on that invisible bar. So I'm kind of ranking, 0 affinity is no affinity, low is 250, medium is, 500. That's kind of how I'm determining what low and medium are. So you need low to a medium affinity in order to start the first part of his quest. And then you'll need high affinity in order to begin the second part. And so obviously you need to do the first part first and then the second, but pretty much it's kind of a sliding scale. And so it's not like, Kate, for example, where you need maximum affinity before you start her companion side quest. No, you just need low to medium to start the first part and then higher affinity, which is what I'm basically saying is 750 affinity in order to begin the second part. And then once you complete that, you're good. It's also important to note that you do have to complete his side quest to get his affinity perk. That's something I probably should have mentioned, but you do have to complete Long Road Ahead, both of those parts, before you can even get kill shots. So you can max out his affinity, you won't get the perk until you complete this side quest. Now, I get a lot of questions asking about gearing up my companion. Should I give him a weapon? Should I give him specific armor? My kind of mantra, what I usually follow, is that I don't mess with companion weapons. I kind of like what they have, and MacCready comes with a scoped combat rifle, or hunting rifle, I think it is, and it's a pretty good weapon. And default companion weapons have infinite ammunition, which means you don't have to give them any ammo. You could just let them roll with you and they'll shoot their gun and hit enemies and deal damage. But if you do give them a weapon, they'll need ammo for it, which pretty much just drains on your own resources. You can give them a weapon, but I usually don't do it. That's just kind of what I do. And also, in terms of armor, giving MacCready your best armor available if he's your go-to companion is probably a good idea. He gets some extra resistances. That's a good idea. I mean, obviously don't give him better armor than what you have because you want to wear that, but that's probably a good idea. It's not kind of the same thing as weapons. You can give them armor and that will help them. And that's all I have for you on MacCready. So I'd like to know, after watching this video, are you going to go out and recruit MacCready? Are you going to get him? He's obviously really easy to get and very easy to boost his affinity up. Will you go ahead and get his companion perk? Is it worth it to do that side quest and kind of complete that for the perk? Personally, I think it is. It's definitely worth it because that, companion affinity perk, Kill Shot, is very, very strong. One of the best combat-based affinity perks in the game. So I think it's totally worth it if that's your focus. How would you rate MacCready against other companions? I think personally the companion affinity perks, as well as kind of player disposition, if someone's really annoying or bitchy, like Kate or Strong can be sometimes, and that really turns me off of them. But if someone's, manageable, kind of funny to roll around with, and they have a great affinity perk, that's when I rank them really highly. So I'd like to know where you would rank, MacCready on those, based on those parameters. Share all of that below. Alright guys, today I shared everything you need to know about MacCready in Fallout 4. And next time we'll cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for more unique weapon guides, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.